the world's battle with the coronavirus rages on, one has to wonder what will happen when the smoke clears. Tens of millions of people are already dependent on the UN's World Food Program for meals. If that were to lose funding, all of those people would be threatened with starvation.
If we lost our funding, a minimum of 30 million would die. Over a 3-month period, that would be 300,000 people dying per day. That's why leaders have got to balance out the COVID response with keeping the economy going, because otherwise a lot more people will die from starvation and economic deterioration than from COVID itself.
Even before the pandemic, the world had a serious food crisis on its hands. The World Economic Forum says that over 820 million people were going to bed hungry. Now many organizations are indicating that the situation can get much, much worse. International markets. Under the lockdown, the very supply chains of transnational corporations are breaking apart. Food can't be processed, delivered, or received between countries, within countries, everywhere. For the developing world, that means famine could be just around the corner, especially now that humanitarian relief is also being obstructed by the lockdowns.
All right, Shalom. This is Har One Ban Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is 2 Ezra 16:1. It says, "Woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." Right. So all these nations, including America and China, all those nations over there in Asia, what you call Asia Minor or whatever. Then you also have Egypt and Syria. So this is a destruction coming upon the whole world. Now it says, "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." So that this is a destruction, a temptation is going to come upon the whole world, man. All right, and especially here in America. So, like the third world countries, like Africa, where a lot of these nations are already on the brink of poverty or starvation. Now it's gotten even worse, all right, because they get their food through what you call the UN, the United Nations. Now here in America, you have the shipments that slowed down anyway through all the tariff wars that were going on, all right, and the heavy taxes that Trump was putting on exports, and now you have this corona shit. So they're shutting down a lot of shipments that will come in from different countries and be exported. So what's that? The food slowing down, man. Food shortages. And you still got the collapse, the dollar crash creeping up, man. The Great Depression. All right, because that's what we're in right now, Great Depression. And when the system finally completely dies out, you're going to have hyperinflation, or the dollar's going to be useless, just like the Weimar Republic. So it can go I believe all of it's going to happen, but in stages, It says, verse 2, "Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand," man. So all these nations in the mirth of the land is what being brought low. All the fun and joy and the pleasures that everybody was into is being cut off. All right. It says, and now they have to worry about the children and the future in this society. All right, but because the destruction is at hand, man. And within destruction, you have what? Famine. You have wars. You have pestilences. And all of those come from the judgment of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" All right. "A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?" All right. Brought this out the other day. I'm gonna bring it out again. 2 Ezra 16:17. Because this is the time we're in, man. Dealing with famine and great death. 2 Ezra 16:17. woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right, no man shall deliver you. The only one that can deliver you from it is Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. So that's when what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai going to allow Esau, the devil, to have their last hurrah, to try to bring in their new world order, thus bringing what? Enlarging their desire as hell and is as death. All right, so he's going to allow them to have their way a little bit until they go to fill their belly. Now it says the beginning of famine. So it's beginning of famine, the beginning of it. All right, and great death, because that's what comes with famine, and that's what comes with disease and pestilence. We in the time of the pale rider. All right, Revelation 6. But it's going to be great death, man. And the Lord gave that power to Esau right now to destroy the earth, you know, with the sword and with pestilence and with plagues and famine. But he's going to be stripped of that power soon. So the beginning of famine, man. And what's famine? All right, this is famine. It says from old French, famine, which means famine, starvation, hunger, starvation, famine, which is of an unknown origin. So basically saying to die of hunger. All right, you got a spiritual famine and you have a physical famine, to where there's going to be a lack of bread, a lack of food. And the scriptures say that, man, you know, the love of many shall wax cold because of the lack of bread upon the earth, and shall be invading one another. People going to go crazy when there's no food. Them parasites in their body going to start taking over. People that's been eating pork and all these damn worms in their body, all that shit going to want to eat. And they're going to be like zombies out here, man. People going to eat their children and shit, and eating crazy ass animals in the street. All right, but the same thing is going to happen to these Edomites, you know, and this is a judgment that's going to fall on the wicked in general. 2nd Ezra 15 and 55. The reward of thy whoredom, especially America, shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. That's crazy, right? So they're going to be, these Edomites are going to be delivered into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. So the Lord has a hit list, and these Edomites are on that hit list, and these heathens, and 2/3 of our people. All right. So he's gonna let this famine and hunger fall on them. They that, and these Africans that are not of the elect of Israel, they that be in the mountains, right, where everybody flee to the mountains, you know, everybody run into these bunkers in the mountains as well. It says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. All right, so they're going to die of that hunger. The Lord and that's one of the worst ways to die, is the body eating itself. And eat their own flesh. So they're going to eat their own flesh. They're going to eat their own children, and so on and so on. And drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges of amendment. All right, so those are scourges that's going to be sent for correction. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So he's letting you know that we're in that time to where the famine is going to just take hold, man. That's one of the plagues that's being sent. All right. And it's going to show up as a plague. All right. Something that's going to hit the whole world, man, or a whole nation. And it's going to bring death. And it's not going to return until it's destroyed every person that the Lord has numbered for it to destroy. All right. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth, many of them, it said, the slain of the Lord shall be many. That dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So you're going to leave them to perish, man. And the other that escaped the hunger, all right, so we got to escape what's coming. And the only way you're going to escape is if the Lord delivers you from it. All right, he's going to provide a way of escape. He's going to feed you in the time of famine. Or keep you alive from famine, from death. It says, and escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. And you have martial law, you have civil war, and all kind of shit that's going to break out in these times. And after that, you have World War III, Armageddon. Ultimately, the sword being the missile, the destruction. Okay. This is Isaiah 65 and 11. Well, actually 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword. So the Lord is going to number 2/3 of our people. And he has a hit list. Put you on that number, on that hit list. All right. And he's going to number these people to the sword. He's not going to give the angels charge over them to keep them in all their ways. He's going to number them to what? To be destroyed. And to perish. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. So they're going to bow down mentally and spiritually, physically to this system. They're going to bow down to it, man. Whatever the slaughter is, they're going to bow down and be weak in it and submit to the chip. Behold, because when I called, ye did not answer. See, the Lord called through his prophets, and the 2/3 of our people didn't answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right, but behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, man. It's gonna be sorrow, anguish, until they ultimately perish. And shall howl for vexation of spirit. It's gonna rock them to the core. All right, it's gonna be a lot of crying and lamentation out here, man. All right, I'm gonna end with this, Psalms 33 and 18. Behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, man. So he's watching over those that fear him. Upon them that hope in his mercy, man. We're hoping that he's going to have mercy in this coming judgment. We're not hoping that Esau has mercy. We hope that Yahweh has mercy on us. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. To deliver their soul from death, man. All right, to deliver us from dying, to keep you alive in that body. And to keep them alive in famine, so to keep you alive in the midst of a famine. All right, so the Lord knows how to do that. Our soul waiteth, so our inner man, our inner being and our spirit is waiting for Yahweh. All right, and where we cry out from our spirit and from our soul, our inner man. He is our help and our shield, man. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Job 5 and 18. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth and his hand make whole. Not Esau, but the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. So we're in the time of that 6th trouble. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee when the missiles hit. All right, or the plagues really start kicking off. The Lord's gonna what? He's gonna keep all these plagues off of you if you're of the elect. If He want to keep you until the end, preserve you. And if you die in famine, or if you die from any of these, the Lord will still raise you up when He shows up, or bring you with Him. You know. In famine He shall redeem thee from death. See that? Even in the famine, not just with the missiles, but in famine you shall be redeemed from death, man. So you might be on the brink of dying in the famine, but the Lord said He's gonna keep you from dying. All right, and that's what you gotta look for. The people may think, oh shit, I can't eat. I'm getting skinny. My family dying off, or whatever, or getting sick. Is the Lord going to deliver us? Well, you gotta hope that He's going to step in, and at the time allotted, He's going to step in and intervene and bring you back from that and keep you. All right, or keep it from happening to you at all. In famine He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. That's spiritual power. So He'll keep what's the modern day sword? The guns or knives, or even the missile. Ultimately, all right, it won't have any power over you. So what's that? Spiritual abilities, man. The same thing the disciples had when they were on the scene. The Lord gave them spiritual abilities, or like Elijah or Elisha. All right, and that's what we're dealing with. That's the times we're coming into, where the Lord's going to exalt His men. All right, it says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction, yeah, that's what's coming, the destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. So the Lord gonna make His hopeful elect, laugh at destruction and famine. So that's what we're coming into, man. So when they talk of famine, you should think of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai intervening and ultimately covering and shielding you and your families if you're in this truth, and causing you to rejoice in that time instead of be in anguish. But He'll cause you to be laughing at it, man. All right. It says at destruction and famine, hunger and lack of food, thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, man. Because what He gonna give you spiritual power, man. All right, and cover you as with the shield, giving His angels charge over you. So for the elect, the hopeful elect, there's nothing to fear, but prepare to rejoice. And for the heathens and 2/3 of our people, prepare to perish. And what's coming, man? These hunger, famines around the world.
Widespread poverty, a reliance on imported food, and rising prices are all a recipe for disaster, according to the United Nations. For the millions living in lockdown countries that fit that criteria, food is running out. Across Africa, clashes between hungry people and the police are already taking place. Many governments of the developing world are struggling with a terrible dilemma. See their people die from the coronavirus, or see them die from starvation.